got the messages turned on. We'll wait for a second for people to hop on. Now, today we got 3 generations here. We got Grandma Val, Hannah, and myself. And let us know in the comments how old you were when you got your first horse, mule, or donkey. So today is just going to be about stories. First, though, I want to thank all of our members. Like, you guys make such a huge difference in letting us, like, come on, share all of this stuff, and help you guys along your own journey as well.
You following her? We'll participate soon. Here.
They're having technical difficulties.
I want to make sure it's working.
So today is going to be more of a conversation. We're just going to tell stories with 3 different generations, with Grandma, Hannah, and myself. And I'm going to share a story too, and I'll reflect my story back to an experience with donkeys and like training, on what it teaches us about learning and patience and trust. So today's going to be more observational and conversation. Feel free to ask questions if you're watching live also. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for joining us. Now, just as a little background and context, Hannah grew up around horses. We got a first horse when Hannah was 5 years old. I got my first horse when I was 29 years old. How old were you when you got your first?
Oh, Lord. I was probably in my 40s when I got my first my horse.
Sure. So all of us like kind of came in at different spots in our life.
Mm-hmm.
What's one story, Grandma, that stands out to you about horses or mules or donkeys or anything? Just a story that stands out to you.
About just having horses or just being around horses?
Yeah.
The amount of patience that they teach you. You can't always go fast and that, but they also, when you actually connect with that one, that connection is so strong that you can really do pretty much anything with them.
It's like so special when you get there, isn't it?
It really is. It really is. I had one that I was able to do that with.
Is that Belle?
That was Belle. Yep, that was my first one.
And what kind of horse was she?
She was a Missouri Foxtrotter.
If you guys don't know what a Missouri Foxtrotter is, that is a gaited horse. That's what my main ride is, Stormy. And they do a really smooth gait, which is just awesome to ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun.
And a Missouri Foxtrot, I think they're kind of a good all-around horse. Like, I wouldn't say that Stormy's good at gaming. Was Belle good at gaming?
No. And I didn't. I tried gaming with her once, but it was more me than anything.
Our own personal nervousness.
Yeah.
I have that.
It was me. I mean, I did it and it was fun, but I wasn't. That wasn't my thing.
It's never been mine either.
No, I could set up barrels in a pasture and play around. Or
it's different than when somebody's timing you, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Totally. Hannah, what about you? What's one story that stands out to you?
Well, we were talking about this before you started the video, so I never told my mom the story until today. But in high school, I always thought it'd be fun to ride my horse into a house, and there's a bunch of undeveloped land behind our house. Probably some of it might have been private, don't really remember.
Probably was all private.
But it's hard to say. But there was a house that was being built back there, and it didn't have any doors on it yet, didn't have any windows on it. Just this nice, we're riding along, and there's just this perfect house, big openings, and I was like, this would be a perfect house to ride into. So I did. I just rode in. The floor kind of creaked a little bit, and I was like, I better get out. So I turned around, went out, kind of hit my leg pretty good on the door coming out, but me and my friend were like, all right, we did it. You rode your horse in the house?
Did she go in too?
No, she didn't.
Was Maddie that you were with, I'm guessing?
I don't remember.
It was probably Maddie because they went everywhere together.
Yeah, it was definitely Maddie. It is definitely Maddie. But yeah, so it was just kind of a funny story that, you do silly stuff as a kid and then.
And of course, she doesn't tell mom these things when she's a kid.
Yeah, you think my mom would been like, oh, that's good, Hannah. You keep riding into those houses now. Yeah, keep it up. Nope.
Now, you weren't scared about falling through the floor.
Well, I was aware that it maybe, but I just thought if I was quick, and I was quick.
You know, Roscoe was a quick horse.
Yeah.
So we got Roscoe for Hannah because her horse was Danny Boy, the horse that I learned how to ride on. Then Hannah learned how to ride on Danny Boy. And then she was really enjoying gaming, and Danny Boy was old man at that point. So we thought we'd get you a horse that was better for gaming. And then you never got to game with him because he was too fast, not enough stop.
He was just too hot, and I was young, I just liked to ride, I didn't like to train. Didn't like to train at all, I just wanted to go ride and go fast and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we did, but it wasn't controlled enough to go game.
Right, I was worried that he would go like right through the panel, like when you get back to the starting line. I was worried that he would go like right over top or crash into the panel. He was a hot horse.
He was a hot horse.
But he was good on the trails, he didn't spook at anything. One time too, we were riding along, and must have rained, and it froze on this dirt road, and we're kind of riding through the brush, and we come up to cross this, I don't know if it was a driveway or just a road, but it was just sheer ice, and I didn't have my feet in the stirrups anyways. We came up, and neither one of us saw it coming, and we just came up, and it was just ice, and he just went smack right down, but I was able to kind of swing my leg out.
Thankfully, huh?
And then I think I might have just kind of stayed on. He got up, and we went. I don't think I had to hop off, but maybe I did. But he got up really quick, but he just had his steady speed. He'd just go along, so it was really fun to ride just us, because he'd just go, and we could cover ground.
Yes.
But then with other people, slower, kind of had to just pull him back, and then that's when he would
irritated.
get reary. Yeah.
And now you keep up with the people that bought him after us.
Not really.
No, but you've watched on Facebook, like this little girl. Like, it was kind of interesting because the girl who bought him, he was so good for her.
Yeah, so when it was time to sell him, I think animals know. They know if it's an adult or if it's a kid. I think that they can tell the difference. But
100%.
it was a pretty little girl, and I was like, I don't know, this will be a good ride. But she got on him. He was just nice and gentle, and he didn't spook it.
He didn't spook
much
at
of anything,
anything.
but yeah, he ended up being a pretty good ride for her, I think.
That is so cool.
That's nice.
We had him take off one time too, with the panniers on him packing, and we had the weight kind of evened out, but we had a big barrel stove on one side, and I think I was ponying him on Danny Boy, and he just kind of kept wanting to get up on, so you're kind of bopping him back, so he's not getting right up next to you, and all that moving around, the barrel was just kind of whacking his side, and he just had enough
his
of it.
knee, so we stopped to try to figure out what was happening.
He took off.
This is when the other kid had to carry the wood stove back to where we were going, right?
But before that, he
Yeah.
took off because he was getting irritated. He took off in the woods, and we had to go get him. And
I forgot that he
we were
took
like,
off.
yeah, no, he was definitely. He said, I've had enough of this.
So it must have been after he took off that we were like watching him walk and trying to see what was happening. And every time he like stepped forward, his knee was hitting the wood stove. Like, that was a big learning experience. Yeah.
But he was a fun horse.
He was a fun horse.
If I was that age again, I'd get him again.
Yeah, especially now.
Yeah, I'd probably ride him now actually, because he was a pretty good horse. So just little.
He was little. What was he, like 13?
No, he was 14-1, but
He was 14.
when we measured him then, yeah.
I have it wrote down somewhere. Oh my gosh. I didn't think he was that tall. All right.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't remember.
Sometime I'll have to look it up because now I'm just curious. Because I thought that he would be considered a
That's about right.
pony. That he was like on
He
the
was
verge
not
of
quite a
being
pony. I think ponies below 14. Do you know if that's right, Reed?
I actually don't know.
I think ponies are 14 and below, and he was like just above it.
That could be why, because I thought he was like borderline on the pony side, but yeah. So my story that stands out to me the most was when Hannah was little, so she would have been, I don't know, maybe 7-ish. So she had Danny Boy, and we wanted to be able to start taking her out on the trails. And I wanted to know that she could control Danny Boy at all 3 speeds before I let her loose to go on trail rides. And trying to teach her this, we happened to have a little arena at the time. So we were paying for lessons for her. Now, Hannah has never been somebody who likes to have lessons, like, she doesn't like organized anything. And so when the lady would come over to give her riding lessons, Hannah would go climb up the tallest tree and hide. I just think that's so funny. Refusing to like follow directions, like keep your heels down and do this with your reins and do that with your reins. She's just like, no.
Well, I think she was taking something that was really fun, and it was like, nope, heels down, have better posture. Nope, pick up. Nope, don't. Nope, what are you doing? Don't do that. Do this. It's like,
This
I'm
isn't
trying to have fun. I'm not here to go to school.
But I did want to know that you could control the animal at any speed.
That makes sense.
that- I was hurt when I was young, so
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Oh yeah.
But as a kid,
I just want to go.
stupid
I'm
lame.
fine. I don't need to do that. I know what to do.
I'm invincible. But then when we were working at the ranch, you got to ride Danny so you got to ride twice a day. Once you got to ride Danny Boy, but he was already old man, and then the other one you had to ride a ranch horse. And I think that you gained a lot of skills during that time
Oh, I think.
in being able to control a horse. Just you have 6 hours in the saddle a day, and you're
Yeah.
gonna learn.
A lot of hours. I don't know how many skills. Because it's not like I was training them. I was just sitting there.
Well, Danny Boy was already trained, so all you had to do is know how to control.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that made a big difference. So that kind of makes me think about like my training philosophy with the 3 C's. Curiosity. Hannah had curiosity. She liked to be with the horses. Connection and then cooperation. Now, I made notes because you guys know I forget when I'm trying to think of it. So it doesn't look like obedience at first. It looks like engagement. And engagement shows up as curiosity. It grows through connection, and then it turns into cooperation. If you don't have curiosity, the donkey or little Hannah may be standing there, but they're not really with us. And if we don't have connection, they might tolerate us, but they won't try. So cooperation only comes after these 2. And it applies just as much as people as to donkeys. It's kind of funny that this little girl, not a little girl anymore, who refused to take directions when she was young, now is in the army flying a helicopter where there's a lot of directions she has to follow.
Yep.
Now, let's see. What part of riding Grandma made you the most nervous?
It was the unknown, because we did primarily trail riding from us, and I mean we always had the dog with, and she was young and she'd run up the hills and down. It's a real wooded area, but you could hear her come running back down, and she'd go right to my horse, and then she'd run up to the other side. Every time my butt puckered, and I was just like, this is no fun. And
That
that,
would make you
so
scared.
it was the fear of the unknown. What's going to happen next?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to make sure I'm always the one, I want to make sure I'm in the right lane before I make that left or right hand turn. You know, I always want to make sure I know what's happening. And it was always the unknown. What if?
Right, yeah.
That's probably, I was the worst rider, I think, because I was so scared of that. What's going to happen? Instead of just relaxing and letting it go.
Belle could probably tell if you were tense.
Yeah, she could,
too.
and she was so good, and we were so connected because I did a lot of groundwork with her. It's just out and having her follow me, and I would flip around and go the opposite direction, and I'd turn right and turn left, and we'd back up, and we'd go forward, and we'd stop, and let's go here, and she was always would follow me. So we had that connection, and she was really good. There was one, we were coming back home from a ride, and my husband's hat blew off. So here's me again. Oh no, there's a hat. She's gonna see it. She's gonna explode. Oh no, what's gonna happen? Of course, so I'm causing all the issues and that. And she saw the hat, I saw the hat and went, and she just stopped. And when she stopped so fast, because the hat was like right at her feet, that I fell forward and I was hanging on to her neck. Hanging. And she just stood there. She's like, all right, Mom, what are you going to do? So she waited till I got myself back up and
Did you
and
fall
that-
off or did you stay in the saddle?
I stayed halfway in the saddle.
Yeah.
But I mean, she just stayed and waited for me to get myself back on, and so she was a very big confidence builder.
It's so nice to have one that can help build our confidence, right? Because we all start without the confidence when you're learning and you don't even know which side of the horse to get on or how to
Yeah.
put a saddle on.
Yeah, so she was mine in that. I tell anyone new who would go out for a trail ride following Grandpa and that, and I'm like, if anything happens, just grab her mane and she'll stop and she'll wait for you to get it figured out
Nice.
and that. Or if I had the little kids, the little ones with, I'm like, right, we got a little one. And she'd take us up a couple steps and her ears would go back like, everybody okay? Where? Okay, we'll take more, and she'll take a couple more steps, she'd wait. Everybody okay? So she knew when she had little son, and she loved kids.
They do
Just
seem to
love
be able to
kids.
tell that stuff. I
Yeah.
don't understand how or why, but Hannah, did you ever have fear on a horse?
I don't know.
remember you being fearful on a horse.
No, I don't.
You brought up earlier when you weren't afraid of falling through the floor of that house, so you just didn't have any self-preservation at that time.
Yeah, a lot less self-preservation when you're younger.
What kind of learner do you think you were when you were a kiddo?
Probably like a hands-on
Mm-hmm.
type, trial by error. You gotta learn lessons the hard way, or figure out what works or doesn't work, and then it sticks with you.
You know what that makes me think of when you would hide in the tree instead of having your riding lesson? Like when we're able to give lessons, and we have to do this with the donkeys, in like little tiny amounts, right? And if we try to ask them, a donkey or a kid, to do too many correct things at one time, we're just going to cause them to get overwhelmed, go hide in a tree or shut down. Like that could be a kind of a cool takeaway from that. Just in bite-sized pieces.
Yeah, maybe if the riding lessons were like really short, and I don't really remember it, but maybe if they were like 10-minute lessons.
And they
I'd
would have been
stick with
probably
it.
an hour long.
Yeah, an hour
Mhm.
long when you're young,
Mm-hmm.
you know, or a new animal might think an hour session is
Yeah.
really long, and just kind of, no, thank you.
That's
Don't
good.
Yeah.
catch me today. Yesterday was a lot. Don't catch me again today.
I'm still overwhelmed from
Yeah.
yesterday. And you know, with the wilds, we can only go for about 15 minutes. So when you say 10 minutes, there is one wild that I've played with some, and she seems like about after 5 minutes, she's overwhelmed, and she's really young.
Hmm.
So I kind of feel like she has a 5-minute timeline.
Interesting. Yeah.
What do you guys think patience actually looks like? Like not the ideal version, but real patience. Like, so it's not a perfect world. What does patience look like then?
Well, I think you have to have patience with the animal that you're working with,
Mm-hmm.
but then you also have to have patience with yourself too, right? Because none of us are perfect. Because with doing some of the Thai stuff, I get hung up on like, well, it doesn't look exactly like he did it, but it's like, well, I'm trying, my animal's trying. That's okay.
We have to not ask for perfection.
Yeah, and it's not gonna, doesn't need to look perfect, doesn't need to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's all right.
I think that's a good point.
Stop on a win.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go too far to have to try and get another win that you can stop on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I have things go backwards like that so much.
Yeah.
Just gonna ask one more question, one more time.
Yeah. Can you do it? And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh no.
Or if
It's
you
like,
mess
okay.
something up, just don't be like, well, all right, guess it's just all messed up now. No, it's just a little thing that's messed up.
No. Just go back to something that is easy and cooperation is there and like, all right.
Right?
Yeah.
Some of you guys know that I'm working with Richard, who is one of the hardest donkeys that I've worked with, like no curiosity. And I was sitting with them today. I got home to start doing waters before everybody else got here. And he came up and he was eating from my feet. I'm like, cool, we're making some progress. Like it didn't take him too much time. But then life started happening. And for Richard, when life starts happening on the farm, he shuts down, right? So I'm like, okay, I knew this was going to happen. So instead of me even sitting in there, I was putting hay and seeing how big his bubble was. So you had, let's see, Reed walked by with Quinn, and then you tied up Bruce, and there's just movement, right?
Yeah, I walked by.
Yep. So that shuts him down, and his bubble was all the way on the other side of the pen. But if I put hay down all the way on the other side of the pen, he would choose to eat sometimes. And right now, for Richard, that's a win. Like, what can they say yes to? That's a big question that I'm always trying to find out. What can you say yes to?
Yeah.
Trying to think what other things. Do you guys have other stories that stand out to you? Like fun, scary, good, bad?
great at thinking of things on the spot.
Not on the spot. Yeah, I get that. I get that.
I just remember you as a kid. You always wanted to go fast.
Yep.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we live right on a state trail, so it's beautiful for us for riding. And that, so you just leave the pasture and you're on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
And that, but there's areas that nice sand, soft sand, and
Yep.
you're like, can we go fast? And Grandpa'd be like, okay, when we get up here, then we can go fast.
I remember one time I was out with Grandpa and it was at a spot where we must have been able to go fast, and I was on Vulcan and we were just running along and we must have gotten too far away from the other horse or something. Because Vulcan was like, we're just going to stop here. And so he just stopped and I went flying off.
Oh no.
And I think I had fallen off a couple other times with Grandpa. And so my dad was starting to be hesitant, like, I don't know if you should go ride with him. And Grandpa's like, you can't tell Dad that you fell off again. Don't tell him you fell off again. I think I told him, but.
That is funny. You did like to go fast. Even when you were 5 years old, her and I would be double on Danny Boy, and all you wanted to do was lope everywhere we went. Go faster, Mama. Go faster.
I can't run that fast, honey.
Yeah.
We would be riding together, so we would go
Yeah.
fast. Yeah. But Danny Boy was a good boy. He was easy to do that stuff with. Like, he was pretty responsive with all the cues and stuff.
Yeah. Alice trained him well.
He was trained well, yeah. What do you think animals have taught you, even if you didn't realize it at the time?
We can go back to patience, perseverance,
Oh, I like that perseverance one. That's
and
a good
that
one.
because it's, you can't just give up. Keep going, keep trying.
Right, keep trying.
Yeah, being
Because of-
resilient.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good one. I'm gonna say that one too. I'm just gonna use theirs because I like it.
You could ask anyone who's listening if they want
Yeah.
to comment.
Yeah,
They
what do you guys
animals have
think
taught 'em.
animals have taught you? I haven't seen any comments come up, but I've not been looking. I don't have any comments. Four viewers right now. Let's see. Well, if there's one thing I want people to take from tonight is that we can't rush learning, right? We have to do it bite-sized chunks so they don't climb up a tree and go hide, right? Or your donkey doesn't shut down. Grandma's not had donkeys.
I've never had a donkey.
Oh.
No.
This was kind of funny when we told Grandma that we were getting wild donkeys. You asked if we had a death wish.
That's funny.
Why?
Why?
Do you think they're going to kick our heads off?
I don't know if I thought they were gonna. I just thought, oh my. And when you said you're gonna get donkeys, of course, my first thing is the little Burros.
Oh.
You know, like what are you gonna do with that? They have a little cart and run around with them
Yeah.
and that. But then they were like bigger and it's like, oh. Where are you gonna find time? How are you gonna do all this?
Yeah, time is an obstacle.
Time is an obstacle. Absolutely.
I have to plan out my days well. So staying engaged matters more than perfection, guys, because all we can do is keep trying, right? Like, Hannah's fallen off her horses so many times, and she never told me till she was an adult.
Unless the horse went home without me, then I was kind of sold out.
Yeah, and that happened. Sometimes her horse came home without her.
Like, we gotta go find you.
Yeah. Help me find my glasses.
Yeah.
Yes.
But there was a period of time, though, I think that you were afraid you were going to be like, oh, nope, you're not going to ride that one. Nope, you're not going to go out.
Yeah, I
You
think I
have
was
to be
worried
in
that
this
it would be
little
like
area.
no more riding.
I
No,
probably would have
nope.
said that.
Yeah.
You can't take off on the gravel
So I
road
was like,
and
please,
come back.
please, I gotta keep riding.
I probably would have made you just ride with me, because she would go riding when I was at work sometimes, or.
Yeah, I would just kind of ride every day all summer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, you were the first one to come to our house, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She'd go out, catch the horses, saddle them all up. They're all ready, tied to the fence, to the post, hitch post, and then, Grandpa, you want to go riding? Oh, yeah. It's like, great, I got them all ready to go.
They're ready.
That was pretty cool. He was very impressed. He tells that story all the time.
That was fun. Yeah, that
You
was
had
a
a
fun
lot
time.
of fun riding with Grandma and Grandpa over there.
Mhm.
Yes. I want to make sure I thank all of our channel members. Now, something you guys might not know, about half of people that watch our channel are not subscribed. So make sure you hit that subscribe button too. It helps more people find our channel to help them on their own journey with the donkeys. There's a lot of donkeys, I just feel like they're so misunderstood as being stubborn or mean. And they're really not. If you can slow down and speak their language, things are going to go really well. And they've gone really well with all the wild donkeys that we've trained and domestic. It's going well. There's some that are definitely tougher than others, but we get through to them, and you will too. So if you're struggling, don't give up. Persevere. It'll happen, right?
Yeah.
Perseverance. I like that.
Be resilient.
Yes. Oh, I was going to tell this and I forgot to, because I, get nervous and I forget to say everything. But the reason that we're all here is we went wedding dress shopping for Hannah Banana. Grandma came with to help with that, so that was very fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
A lot of fun.
Trying on lots of wedding dresses and modeling them. So that was
Yep. I'm
cool.
pretty excited to be able to be here.
Yeah, that was awesome. You were able to fly out
Yeah.
for it.
Yes.
So that
Really
was,
glad
that
that
was
you
fun.
came. Mm-hmm.
Very special that you got to be. I'm so glad.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
It was fun. You found your dress?
Yep, I found my dress and Hannah's got hers and
Yeah. Oh yeah. Busy weekend.
Oh yes.
yeah, got all the flowers made.
Mhm.
It's been good.
So
Very good.
this is like the next chapters of our life, right? And that's just whether you're working with a donkey or you're getting ready to get married or your kids are going off to college, want to just keep focusing on the curiosity, connection, cooperation. All of that matters more than the speed that we're going. Speed can be fun, but it can also slow things down too much if we're not paying attention to our animals or our people, right?
Yep.
So I don't have any more. If you guys have questions, put them on there, but I thought it'd be fun just to come share stories. You guys have any other stories that you think of?
Do you have any that you can think of?
You remember when we were at the ranch, you had to walk such a long ways to go feed Danny Boy.
It was a mile-long airstrip, so people could fly into this ranch that my parents were working at. And so every day we had this old horse, and he needed grain twice a day, in the morning and the evening, a whole bunch of grain.
A whole bunch.
And there was nowhere to separate him, so I'd have to go out and get him his grain. Sometimes he'd be close, sometimes he'd be a mile away. And I'd walk out, and then I'd just have to stand there for like a half hour while he ate. Because the other animals would come and steal his food. So every morning and evening, you gotta walk out and feed Danny Boy, and then just stand there and wait.
He was he was really, really hard to keep weight on.
I think he lost a lot of teeth or something. Like he couldn't
Not
chew.
at that time. He was only like 20 at that time. But we had his teeth floated. So if you guys don't know what floating is, it's when they go in with a drill and they actually drill down their teeth to cut off any high edges or sharp points. And because Danny was such a hard one to keep weight on, we brought him to an equine dentist. So it was a spot, it was a vet's office that specialized in dental work. And they took a third of his teeth off.
Whew.
Like that was just crazy, a third of his teeth. And he lived to be 31 years old, so I think it really helped. Because I think he was only like 20 at the time that we had him floated, or, when we did that. So it helped him keep his weight on. The old man, he lost all of his teeth at the end, so he couldn't eat any hay, and he lived solely off of grain.
Mm-hmm.
Twice a day, a lot of grain. It was amazing. He never got sick and died just from eating so much grain.
Yeah.
But it worked. But you having to walk all that distance to go feed him twice a day was a pretty big commitment for a little kiddo.
Well, didn't have a phone. Didn't have an iPad. Keep your kids busy walking around a pasture. Probably better for them.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in with us, and we will see you next week.
For Stoic Sunday.
Stoic Sunday. Thanks for joining us.